So DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is warning leaders in Portland to tackle crime and rein in radical left-wing anarchists, or there'll be blood on their hands.
Her visit to Deep Blue City comes as President Trump is expected to hold talks today on the threat of Antifa violence.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now from Washington with the latest. Hey, Lucas.
Good morning, Ainsley. Good morning, fellows. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem visiting Portland to tour that ICE facility at the center of protests. Police cleared a one-block radius around the building ahead of her visit for her safety. And last night, Noem appeared on Jesse Watters' Primetime.
This mayor is going to wait until somebody gets violently hurt or killed. He's going to have blood on his hands because he sat around and thought too long because he's too scared of the political ramifications of making a big decision to keep his city safe.
The DHS secretary had a chance to view the situation firsthand from the roof of the ICE facility. She received a security update on scene. A federal judge Sunday blocked the deployment of the National Guard to Portland, where President Trump and members of his administration say those forces are necessary to quell the violence in the streets. As you can see here, Oregon's Democratic governor says the protests have been mostly peaceful. Here's her statement after a meeting with Trump's DHS secretary. Quote, "Today in my meeting with Secretary Noem, I reiterated again that there is no insurrection in Oregon. I was clear that I have confidence in local law enforcement to meet the moment. Oregon is united against military policing in our communities." Now, President Trump said Monday he's willing to invoke the Insurrection Act if necessary. The Insurrection Act of 1807 under then-President Thomas Jefferson allows the president to dispatch active duty military in states that are unable to control unrest. It has been used multiple times in history, dating back from Andrew Jackson's time to President George H.W. Bush, guys.
You could go back to the Shays Rebellion if you wanted to, if you really wanted to impress us, Lucas, although we're quite impressed with the delivery.
That's right.
And Little Rock with Ike.
Yes, that's a good point. A little bit more modern.
Lucas.
Black and white film. Right.
So Kristi Noem goes to Portland to go tour the ICE facility, sat down with the governor there, and she sat down with the mayor, and she told the mayor an ultimatum, demanding more security, larger buffer zone around the ICE building, and the streets be reopened. The mayor says, "I'll tell you tomorrow whether or not I agree to any of these terms." But she says if he doesn't follow up and doesn't follow through, then she's going to send him more federal resources and 4 times the amount of federal officers.
One thing I love about the administration is they're not in a defensive posture. They're going on offense right now. You saw it yesterday with Pam Bondi taking on members of Congress yesterday, letting them know essentially the record, how they're out of control, and are you going to stand with the cops that are on the street, or are you going to stand with the criminal illegal aliens in this country? Here's a montage of what took place.
They are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
The National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Under this Trump administration and the leadership of Attorney General Bondi, I believe the independence of the Department of Justice has come under attack. So my first question, Attorney General Bondi, is a simple yes-no question. Do you believe that government officials like Gregor Bovino are obligated to follow applicable court orders, whether they agree with them or not, yes or no?
First, Senator Padilla, you have gone on for over 5 minutes, and I wish that you loved your state of California as much as you hate President Trump. We'd be in really good shape then, because violent crime in California is currently 35% higher than the national average. Property crime in California is 18% higher than the national average. That should be something that we should be talking about and working together on.
And that's just it. And now if you think about it, the method that the Trump team has is really who Donald Trump is. You know, in the first term, they were getting the right people in the right places. But if you look at RFK, if you look at Kash Patel, and now Pam Bondi, they're out there to say, look, I'm not just going to sit here and take incoming, especially from you guys. I did a little background check on you. And that's what Trump does. He goes with you. If you're an opponent, he knows exactly what your district is. He knows what your state is. And she says, yeah, I'll answer your question if it's applicable. But let me just tell you, I'm trying to straighten out your city because you can't. And that's fundamentally where Democrats find themselves. They are now defending anarchy and criminals. Now, whether Trump intentionally walked them there or they just played themselves into that corner, that's where they are. because we have this thing called video. We can call it up from 30 days ago, and we see the unrest outside the ICE building. On what planet do you think that President Trump is going to let a federal building get surrounded by anarchists who don't like a branch of law enforcement? He's not going to handle it. So what Kristi Noem did yesterday, talk to the mayor, talk to the governor. What Kristi Noem is doing, too, they're engaging, too, with the same thing in Chicago, mayor and governor. We're sending the Texas National Guard in there. And now in Portland, the president's got to decide, while he waits for the court system to give him back the power to put the National Guard in, because local cops aren't protecting our agents, now he's got to say, do I want to use the Insurrection Act to put him in anyway?
Yeah, well, the governor there said that she was glad that Kristi Noem came to Portland so that she could see what was really happening. But before her arrival, they blocked off the streets around the ICE facility, which is where we've been seeing all these protests. And yesterday, Pam Bondi, she really defended herself.
She's great.
Yeah, Dick Durbin represents Illinois. So she's saying, if you're not going to clean up Chicago, then I will. She called Adam Schiff a liar and a failed lawyer. She called Mazie Hirono, the senator from Hawaii, of consorting with Antifa because she recalls Mazie Hirono being out there with the Antifa protesters. Then when Blumenthal questioned her about politicizing the DOJ, she said, I'm not going to get in the gutter with you. I'm not going to be lectured about the integrity by someone who lied about being in the military just to be an elected senator.
Meanwhile, here...
All true.
It is true.
She did her research.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.